The Trade Minister certainly keen to downplay any tensions that are pretty apparent in this relationship with China. But we were blindsided yesterday, the Australian government saying it was disappointed that it didn't get any heads up before China made the decision to suspend the exports from 4 Australian meatworks, 3 of them in Queensland and 1 in New South Wales. It comes just days after Beijing threatened to impose 80% tariffs on Australian barley, citing dumping concerns. And we've really sparked the ire of Beijing in recent weeks because Australia had been leading the push for this inquiry into the origins of the coronavirus pandemic. It was pretty noteworthy yesterday. A Chinese spokesman overnight was saying that there is no link between the beef ban and the probe.
When Chinese customers inspect imported meat, we've continuously found that specific Australian companies have violated the inspection and quarantine requirements agreed upon by main regulators from both sides. To ensure the safety and health of Chinese consumers, China decided to suspend 4 Australian companies' meat products.
But in that very same answer, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman went on to rally against Australia's push for this pandemic probe. Whilst they're not overtly linking the two things, it's pretty clear that China remains angry at Australia. The Trade Minister doing his best to try and calm the concerns that Beijing has. They know that this is a huge... Exports to China are such a huge thing for the Australian farmers and for so many businesses in Australia. So the Trade Minister asks, is this the start of a trade war?
Well, Australia is not in any sort of war. Our intention is to work as cooperatively as we can with our partners right across the region and the world, including in terms of the enhancement and growth of economic and trade relations.
Well, Trudy, what of the Treasurer who remains in isolation this morning, awaiting the results of that coronavirus test?
Pete, you can't imagine Josh Frydenberg got a lot of sleep last night. He's awaiting the test results of his coronavirus test after that coughing fit that he suffered during this major economic speech to Parliament just after midday yesterday. It went for around 2 minutes. He was trying to get all the water he could, sitting alongside the Prime Minister, really struggling to continue on with this major speech. He went to question time, answered questions as well, but it was at 4 o'clock after that he decided, after advice from the Deputy Chief Medical Officer, that it was best, out of an abundance of caution, we were told, that he go and get tested. He then put himself into isolation. We're awaiting those test results. We're supposed to be getting them today. If he does test positive, Pete, and it is a big if, given the low caseload here in the ACT, it would have big implications for the Prime Minister. He walked into the party room with Josh Frydenberg. He sat alongside him during that speech and then during question time. So this will have big ramifications if he is testing positive, but we'll have to wait and see.